Come on. Come on, Shady. Oh! Damn. Damn.
Right, I will. Yeah, I'll just beat the. Tyler was talking about me.
I'm actually I would just rather
No, you slap me. I slap you. I do trust you. I trust me. I trust him. I trust him. You're only home. Hit me. Go ahead. See how was it? What? Using it in there.
Which one?
Yeah,
We got
You see my wiener?
Country Pimp. 1-on-1. Mike Tyson.
So I want to chat about this case here. Nova Presgrove. It's something I've been following for a while now, and it reminds me so much of another case. There was a case in April of 2020 in Nova Scotia, Canada, and it was a fellow by the name of Gabriel Wortman, and over 13 hours across the province, they ended up with 22 deaths and multiple buildings and vehicles burnt. And it was a very strange case. And basically it was heavily covered by a particular YouTuber. This guy, Little Gray Cells. And these are just his live videos that he did. But, I mean, for 2 years, I mean, look at these 6 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 4. I mean, you can see the body of work that was generated. And around him, there became like a community. And they had a Discord server, and of course there's various Facebook groups, stuff like that. And, you know, people, there's family members, there was like people from the community, like, and there was so much information that come out because so many lies were caught and proven. It really did shape the case of it. I mean, just look at that's a 9-hour stream, 6 hours, 7. And the way he got involved, this guy, is he had a friend, and she lost 3 family members in that case. And she called him, and they started streaming and talking about it, and people started joining over time, and they were just sharing information. It was really interesting. The case was, you know, local people would go get pictures or look at things or verify stuff. I mean, it was interesting. But over the 2 years, it was the patterns that, you know, you could start coming out. And the longer it goes on, the easier the patterns are to see. And I mean, I had people that were claimed to be looking for the truth, and then they're fighting against it and trying to shape narratives and stuff like that. There's all kinds of drama in the Facebook groups, but in general, you know, you can see a lot just in the patterns. And now I've been looking at the Nova Presgrove case, and I do see patterns. Sadly, we're pushing 14 months, just past 13 months. In this case, seems to be, well, at least from the public point of view, doesn't seem to have a lot going on. And the fact that this Noah's family has been able to push the views on this case to international level is really amazing. I mean, that's not a small feat. To get that many I mean, I didn't know where Terrell, Oklahoma was. But when you start looking at this and following and deep dive in it, I mean, you see a lot of stuff. I'm not going to, this particular video is not going to be a fancy, well edited type production. If that's what you're looking for, there are people that do it a lot better than me, and you really should view them. What my main focus here is basically the patterns and inconsistencies, and the fact that we're 14 months down the road, and we can't even answer who the last person to see Noah was leaving. Usually something should be very simple to explain, you know. We did A, then we did B, then we ended up at C. But I don't, you know, I'm that's not the case here. So first oddball thing that I noticed was this particular group here. You know, I've been trying probably 6 or 7 times over the last 6 weeks or so to get into this group. I have no problem with the other ones. They all accept me. I have like a 14-year-old profile. I mean, it's obviously not fake. But this group here, I've requested several times, and I was told this was one of the main groups, but you know, it says this is a private group on the death of Noah Presgrove. This group is created to discuss and share information, but it's private, so nobody can see your information. Even in rumors, there's some truth. Well, that's true. The goal is to put as much heat and shed as much light on Noah's case as possible. The group is created for freedom of speech and to give out any information. Again, you're not giving out too much information. Nobody can see the information unless you're in the group. But if you don't accept anybody in your group... Anyway, we will do our best to monitor and deal bullying, which is not acceptable, shouldn't be, is coming up to 8 months now, and there's still no peace for Noah. And again, as I mentioned, we're fast approaching 14 months. So we got almost 7,000 people in here, and it seems to be run by these folks. And there's a little bit of activity, but as you can see, no new members in the last week. So I don't know if it's just me they don't like, or if they're not accepting anybody. But this doesn't make a lot of sense to me if this is the goal. But that being said, I don't know. Maybe these folks all went on vacation at the same time. Something like that. But anyway, I'm not going to bother with this group anymore. I don't know. Doesn't seem to want members. So we'll leave them be. Maybe. So what I'm going to do is get I'm going to let ChatGPT sort through the copious amounts of information out there. I'm not even opening any of the social media platforms. I'm just going to tell this thing to go grab me some stuff. I'm interested in understand. So this is what I'm asking. I'm interested in understanding the history and knowing details of the Nova Presgrove case in Oklahoma. Please focus on as many sites as possible for a full report of details, including mainstream news, podcasts, and web search. Please write me a detailed report of the timeline outlining significant known events and names of people associated. Please reference where you got the information. If there were interviews, please give a summary of who was being interviewed and what they said. So let's just start with something basic here, and we'll drill down to get to some inconsistencies and look at things, but it's probably the quickest way to get things started. So it tells me to search 5 sites. We're going to look at a lot more than 5 here, but we'll see what these ones are saying. This is kind of like a summary. Tragic case of Nova Presgrove, a 19-year-old. I mean, that's pretty young. And Oklahoma has been surrounded by mystery and conflicting accounts since the body was found September 4th in 2023. Along Highway 81 in Jefferson County. Here's an overview of the timeline, significant details, and various players involved in the investigation. So the timeline, September 1st through 4th of 2023, Noah attended a multi-day party in Terrell, Oklahoma, celebrating a friend's 22nd birthday. Witnesses, including his best friend Jack Newton, reported that Noah was drinking heavily. During the party, he was involved in an ATV rollover accident, but survived and returned to the gathering. At some point, he argued with other attendees and left on foot in the early morning hours of September 4th, shortly after a friend posted on social media that Noah was missing. And by approximately 6 a.m., 2 passersby discovered his body along Highway 81. September 4th, 2023, 2 motorists, one of whom identified himself as Tyler Hardy, called 911 after finding Noah's body laying near the road. Initially, Hardy mistook the body for a deer before realizing it was a person. Noah was found wearing only mismatched slip-on shoes. I don't know if that's accurate. I'd heard there was an Adidas shoe and a slip-on type shoe. Anyway. ChatGPT isn't perfect, but if you see anything that might be incorrect here, let me know in the comments. And his body positioned in one witness called the fetal position, and I know there's conflicting information on that. His injuries included blunt force trauma, a fractured skull, scattered teeth, leading some family members and investigators to question the nature of his death. In May 2024, the medical examiner released an autopsy report which confirmed that Noah died from multiple blunt force injuries. Despite the extent of his injuries, the manner of death was listed as undetermined, suggesting uncertainty about whether he was hit by a vehicle or suffered these injuries under different circumstances. The report noted no vehicle debris near his body, casting doubt on the theory of a hit and run. I also understand there was very little blood around, but we will see. The details will come out more as I dig down with this. July 2024, Noah's family, frustrated by the lack of conclusive findings, launched their own investigation with the help of private investigator Kathy Bingham, who began interviewing party attendees and gathering witness statements. Noah's brother, Dalian Presgrove, has been vocal about his belief that foul play was involved, stating that the condition of his brother's body did not match typical accident scenarios. Key figures and investigative details. Noah Presgrove, he recent high school graduate and aspiring military enlistee. Noah was known for his involvement in sports and his friendly demeanor. His sudden and violent death has left his family and community searching for answers. Dalian Presgrove, Noah's older brother. Dalian has been one of the most prominent voices calling for justice, sharing details about the family's independent investigation and appealing to the public for information. Kathy Bingham, hired by the family, this private investigator is focused on recreating Noah's last hours, interviewing party attendees, and working closely with Noah's family to piece together the night's events. Law enforcement and the medical examiner. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation classified Noah's death as suspicious, but has not labeled it as a homicide. The medical examiner's report identified blunt force trauma as the cause of death, but was unable to determine how these injuries were sustained. Public reaction and family efforts. Noah's case has drawn attention due to its strange circumstances. With no vehicle debris found at the scene and the unusual state in which the body was discovered, the family believes more information is yet to be uncovered. In interviews, Dalian has expressed that someone at the party may know more than they have revealed, and continues to urge witnesses to come forward. His aunt, Robin Smith, also shared her skepticism about the hit-and-run theory, noting that the injuries seemed inconsistent with that explanation. The release of 911 calls, which witnesses described as unsettling, witnesses described the unsettling scene and conflicting autopsy details have fueled public interest and speculation about what really happened to Noah on that early September morning. The case remains unsolved, and both law enforcement and the family's hired investigator continue to pursue leads in hope of finding closure. This case has been extensively covered by various outlets, including People, News Nation, and The Independent, all of which offer deeper insights into the investigation and the family statements on their quest for answers. Well, that's a good summary. But again, I try to understand this, and you look, and try to put myself in this. I mean, both as a young person. I mean, I was 19 once. Like to party and have a couple beer and stuff. Also, though, like when you look at it from a little bit further distance, it's like, why don't we know the basics? And what we do know, every time you listen to something, Partners in True Crime, or read People, and stuff like this, a piece of information comes out, but you end up with more questions about the timeline than you had before. So, some stories change, some don't, some change a little. So, I mean, these are the patterns, right? So, let's just see. I don't know. Let me see here. I got another question for you. I'll toss this one in. I'm interested in knowing Presgrove case in Oklahoma. I'm primarily interested in the social media activity in the last year. Please give me a list of most discussed topics. For each topic, please key points and summary. See if it tells me anything. And the way this AI works, by the way, is it remembers all the previous answers. You don't have to re-queue it. I can come back tomorrow in this chat, continue with it, and it just keeps building upon the information it has. So far, we're still only accessing 5 sites, which is People, Web Sleuth, Comanche Times, and YouTube. For the information we're pulling here, we can do a much deeper dive with this, but we're just doing the broad strokes for now. So let's see what it says. What did we ask again? Oh, yeah, social media, most discussed topics. Over the past year, social media has played a significant role in the Noah Presgrove case, amplifying discussions, theories, and public scrutiny. Here are the most discussed topics of social media in a summary. Party events and attendees. Key points. Social media platforms, especially Facebook and Reddit, have hosted discussions about the party that Noah attended. Before his death, many users focus on the sequence of events such as the ATV rollover and arguments he allegedly had with other attendees. Friends mentioned that Noah appeared to be upset and planned to cool off after these incidents. Party attendees have been reluctant to speak publicly, with some posts implying conflicting stories, which has refused speculation. We'll dig down deeper to see what the stories are, but one thing that keeps catching my attention is, family and friends. I never hear anybody say anything bad about this, about Noah. A great guy, nice guy, happy, help you out. But again, I'm only looking at a couple of days in this guy's life. But, he went home once because of arguments, and he was supposed to argue with his friend, and argue with a girl or two. Like, is this really his nature to argue with people all the time like this? Or, like, I don't know. I just find that very puzzling. It's an oddity to me. I mean, I do understand things happen. But, how many times does one have to go cool off? I mean, any pictures, I've seen them. I mean, he's happy and smiling. But, again, I don't know any of these people. Anyways, speculation around what happened at the party has led to several theories, including possible confrontations and accidental injuries. Photos and videos shared by attendees have surfaced, but many details remain unclear due to the chaotic nature of the gathering and alcohol consumption. Justice for Noah campaign Justice for Noah Facebook page, which has gained tens of thousands of followers, serves as a platform where family members share updates and supporters discuss theories about his death. His family and private investigators regularly post to urge witnesses to come forward, with family members like Dalian Presgrove highlighting new developments and reflecting on the ongoing investigation. This has raised awareness and kept the case in the public eye while putting pressure on law enforcement. And I'll go back to what I was saying earlier in this stream when I started it. This has been pushed to international viewership. There's a lot of people looking. And not that it helps at the county level per se, but I don't know. When the more eyes on something, more things get caught, so the shenanigans goes down a bit sometimes. Not always, though. The campaign has helped maintain public interest and has been essential for sharing official updates, but has also become a space where rumors and unverified claims proliferate. Family members have expressed both gratitude and frustration with how these cases have been handled on social media. Medical examiners report injury theories. Release of the autopsy report prompted a flood of online analysis. Social media posts and forums have dissected the report's findings, particularly the blunt force injuries and absence of the vehicle debris. This has led some users to challenge the initial hit-and-run theory, while others suggest that the body was moved post-mortem. The family has indicated they find the injury suspicious and inconsistent with an accidental cause. These discussions have fueled alternative theories about how Noah sustained his injuries. Social media users frequently debate whether the injuries could have been inflicted at the party or in a different setting before he is found on the roadside. Conspiracy theories and misinformation. The case has unfortunately become a hotbed for various conspiracy theories. Speculation has ranged from theories about partygoers covering up a crime to assertions that certain witnesses have been silenced. Some posts have indicated sustained claims that without a whodunit narrative, which Noah's family and law enforcement officials find frustrating and unhelpful. Investigators have noted that this type of speculation hinders the investigation. Well, possibly, but possibly not as well. While the interest in discussion may be well-meaning, misinformation is rampant. The family has urged supporters to share only verified information and have expressed concern about how some of these rumors impact both the investigation and their personal lives. See, that's the thing. These people, are not going to... This is their everyday, and, they're not going to go away. Like, law enforcement has to come out with some kind of explanation for this. That makes sense. Witness testimonies and new leads. Discussions on social media have highlighted witness statements from party attendees and others who saw Noah during his final hours. As the case progresses, more individuals come forward with information which the family has shared to some extent on platforms like Facebook. These witness accounts often conflict, which is my interest. There's a reason things conflict. And it's not always intentional. I mean, sometimes people make mistakes. But, maybe it was 1:45 and not, 6, or, minor stuff, because, I mean, people aren't perfect, but, if your time changes wildly multiple times and stuff like that, it's a little more suspect on if you got a handle on your timeline. But then again, I guess you throw alcohol in the mix, anything's possible. Adding to confusion, but also provide new leads that are being pursued by the family's private investigator and law enforcement. Summary: the case has remained open in part due to evolving testimonies. See? Evolving testimonies. Not new testimonies, evolving. Some of which have only recently surfaced. Well, I guess those would be new ones. Social media users have speculated that certain attendees may have held back crucial details initially and are now starting to share more, either directly or through intermediaries. The ongoing attention on these social media topics illustrates the public's continued investment in seeking justice for Noah Presgrove. His family and supporters use these platforms to advocate for further investigation and to clarify unverified claims, while law enforcement remains cautious about what can be disclosed due to the sensitive nature of the case. And 100%. These are small towns, and everybody knows everybody. you have to keep certain things under wrap for sure. But again, going back to the case earlier that Little Grace House covered, you saw that people. Once the social media starts looking at it, they just start going through all the history that can be found. And there's a lot. People share things, they remove things, but people screenshot stuff. And it all comes back around. And, those are the things that you want to look for. But the problem with that is, if you're on the receiving end of it and you're innocent, most people will put an official statement out, with just, to set the record straight. But I suppose, on the other hand, I mean, if you have certain things you don't want out there, I guess, maybe you wouldn't, or maybe just for general legal reasons. I don't know the laws of Oklahoma or the general area. I don't know what liabilities and stuff might come into play there, but I don't know. I mean, one thing I did notice, like in all my digging so far, is I didn't see any kind of statement. Now, I might have missed it. If this is out there, please do let me know in the comments, because I'd like to see it. From any of the families where the party was. Like, has there ever been like an official statement, condolences to the, stuff like that? Like, I didn't see it. I don't know. I don't want to say it doesn't exist, because I don't know. But I haven't seen it. I would like to. So please do share if you know of that. I'd also be curious if any of these friends and family, attended the funeral. Because, small town, I mean, my child's friend died, shortly after being at my house. I certainly would be there. But anyway, these are just things I wonder about. I haven't seen any confirmation of stuff like that. Let's just go here. One more question. Let's start drawing down a little bit in this. Search all news, social media, Facebook, Reddit, Snapchat, etc. Please deep dive this. I want 20 inconsistencies in the Noah Presgrove case based on information on known partygoers. Please outline point form. Please also let us know which party guests are associated with each point. Let's see what it has to say. And again, I'm just using this to sift through this quick stuff. Here are 20 inconsistencies. Well, I guess it didn't have any trouble finding 20. ATV incident counts. Party growers. Jack Newton and unidentified men. So I believe Noah was supposed to be driving in this situation. Anyway, conflicting accounts whether Noah was visibly injured in the ATV rollover. Some attendee claim he walked away unharmed, while others imply he was more affected. And I don't know, but I believe the timeline was that happened around 3 a.m. And then there was showers. They had to help shower Noah and fed him. And he wandered away at 3:30. So, I mean, that's a shit ton of stuff to do in a half hour. And then 11 minutes later, the text at 3:41 that he's missing, like, he was only gone 11 minutes. But again, you have to assume that any of this information is correct. So, conflicts everywhere. Or not conflicts, but conflicting information. Last seen timeline, and this involves Jack Newton and Avery Howard. Jack claims Noah left the party around 3:30 a.m. The other witnesses provide different times, and some say they saw him later. Well, social media posts about missing person. This is from a female. Post appeared about Noah being missing shortly. Oh, this was saying up top. Shortly after he left, the tone of the post, including spiral-eyed emojis, was seen as suspicious by some, given the gravity of what later transpired. Location and condition of body. Noah was found close to the road in a fetal position with severe injuries. No one can confirm how he got there. You know, and there should be an easy explanation. And the theories about a hit and run were disputed due to lack of vehicle debris near his body. Contradictory injury explanations. The autopsy showed blunt force trauma, yet there were inconsistencies in accounts regarding how he sustained such injuries, with no single explanation fitting the severity of his condition. Witnesses changing stories, multiple unnamed attendees. As interviews progressed, several attendees revised or contradicted their initial statements, adding to the confusion over the timeline. And as this stuff filters out, and there's no official information given, people just speculate. And that's just human nature. You know. But, you know, I do believe this case will have closure. You know, again, I'm going back to the other case in Nova Scotia. And, it, you know, after 2 years, you can really see the patterns online of who did what, said what, changed what. We're coming into, sadly, the second year here. And if nothing official comes out, I mean, it's going to become fairly obvious anyhow. Cause of death. Authorities initially considered a hit and run, but later ruled it out, leaving the cause and manner of death officially undetermined, even with substantial trauma evidence. Reports of Sharpie markings. There was a scene that on my opening there that you could see there having some fun and writing on Noah. He seemed to be having a good time as well. Rumors circulated that people signed Noah with a Sharpie pen at the party, yet no markings were visible on his body when discovered, adding to speculation about what might have happened after he died. Yeah, I don't know what night he was drawn on. It could have been the night before as well. I do know he went home that night, Saturday night. I assume he probably showered. If the showers after the ATV rollover is true, then he would have had a second one there. But again, without a proper timeline, you can't figure out if the shower makes sense. I know the autopsy showed there was no food in his stomach, but apparently he was fed. So I guess either he was fed and was ill, or he wasn't fed. So I don't know. Videos of arguments. Unnamed male attendee. Videos from the party show Noah in disputes with others. Some believe these altercations might have escalated, but no conclusive evidence has surfaced on the impact of all these confrontations. Inconsistent witness accounts of Noah's mood. Partygoer, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier too. Jack Newton and other attendees, some claim Noah was calm and friendly, while others said he became angry after arguments, leading to different theories about his intentions and state of mind before leaving. 11, missing necklace. Noah wore a silver necklace daily, which he was reportedly found broken near his body. The significance of this remains unclear, but some see it as evidence of a struggle. I don't know, maybe. Manner of clothing and body position. Noah was found in only mismatched shoes, despite reportedly wearing shorts earlier. His body position and lack of clothing raised questions about what might have happened after he left the party. ATV 13 ATV key incident. Partygoers Jack Newton. Jack mentioned he hid his ATV keys, yet Noah somehow accessed them. It's unclear how Noah managed this, leading to suspicions about others' involvement. Discrepancies in party ending. Various, including Jack and Avery, involved. Some stated the party ended around 2 a.m., while others reported continued to after Noah left. The inconsistency raises questions about who was present during key events. Blood evidence speculation. Blood was found at the scene. Led some to theorize Noah might have been pushed or thrown from a moving vehicle, though this remains unverified. Alleged silence among partygoers. Unnamed close friends. Several close friends, despite claiming to care for Noah, have stayed silent, adding to suspicions of a possible cover-up. Response from the party host. This would be partygoers involved as Avery Howard. Details. Avery's attorney, they have an attorney, has stated her cooperation with authorities, but she has refrained from directly answering questions about the night, fueling speculation. Snapchat and video evidence. Social media posts from the party include videos showing arguments, but none conclusively explain Noah's injuries or other events following his departure from the house. 19 is contrasting accounts of ATV ride participants. Again, I thought we covered this one. Party goers is Jack and other unnamed attendees. Some attendees remember Noah riding the ATV with friends, while others suggest he was alone, resulting in confusion over how the incident transpired. And number 20. Discrepancy over timing of missing report. Conflicting reports exist about when attendees realized Noah was missing. Some say immediately after he left, others say hours later, creating an unclear timeline for the final moments. These inconsistencies from witnesses and friends reflect the difficulties in establishing a clear narrative of what happened to Noah, despite extensive social media scrutiny and family efforts to piece together the truth. Various sources, including interviews with people, Yahoo News, and social media discussions on Web Sleuth, all reveal these ambiguities as part of an ongoing complex investigation. And yeah, we should have a basic timeline that makes sense by this point, even if it's high level. At least an unofficial one from the people that were there. But anyways, I just want to kind of poke away at this a little bit more. I don't know if there's any interest in my videos or not. But what I will probably continue doing is start drill down in some of these, get more details. I know there are people that, are keeping a lot of other daily type stuff out there. I think what I'm doing might help. I don't want to redo something that's already being done by others, so I think I'm just going to keep drilling down this way and let this thing calm. I am going to give it one piece of information that I just remembered once I find it. Right there. I'm just going to drop this file here. This is ME report PDF, so I'm just going to give this to my little AI here to add to this discussion. He's probably going to give me a summary, yeah. Which I don't need to review at the moment. Why did it do that now? Anyway. Oh, it's doing inconsistencies based on the... Oh, it added that information and redid the question I previously asked with the... Okay. But, again, the way this thing here works is it'll... Unless I delete it, it's there for... until I delete it. And everything I feed it, everything it discovers, it just keeps adding to it what it had previous. So... I'm just going to keep building this AI out and start digging down on things. If anybody's interested in following that, please feel free to check out my videos. And I do think there will be closure for this. I don't think, I think what happened will come to light here. Probably within the year. But anyway, just kind of put a little awareness out there, and if you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you wish. But we'll keep going. Goodbye for now.